We have Amygdala. We have Ebritus. We have Kos. We have Odin. We have the Moon Presence. We have, I guess the Celestial Emissary can count. Like, there are a lot of great ones in this game. The One Reborn, I don't think is considered one, but I'm not really sure what he was ever meant to insinuate. He was kind of weird. That one I didn't get pieced together very well, but all these other great ones are of different races, are of different mindsets about what they're up to, about what they care about. And though all of them are sympathetic in spirit, as it's stated at some points in this game, I feel that not all of them, you know, like, are going to be defending hunters at any point. Like, because of what happened in the DLC, at the start of the DLC, or not the start of the DLC, but the start of the hunt, the start years and years and years ago of, like, all this crap going off. Because of what happened there, it's making me think, like, all of the great ones are out to get hunters. All of them. Kos was affected directly. Kos started the curse. However, all of the great ones are targeting hunters because all of the great ones no longer see them as someone they should be sympathetic with. They see them as murderers and cursed fiends who must be eliminated or, you know, tortured with the plague of beasts, in a sense. Like, that's what I'm getting. At least that's what I feel. Oh, here's Grandma.
Oh no, I haven't forgotten. Do you think I owe you something? Well, that's a fine lark,
I guess that's a good way to get a look at her face.
This old mess that Yharnam's in, it's all your fault.
She looks kind of nasty, I gotta say. Her eyes are actually...
tainted by your ilk.
They don't look straight. Her nose looks crooked. Her eyes look crooked. Her mouth looks kind of twisted up in a nasty smirk. Like, her whole face is kind of twisted. I didn't even notice that in the past. Okay. So, let's head to the good old Yharnam here. Okay. I really don't like fighting these guys with weapons that don't stagger, because that makes them pretty difficult, and they hit like trucks for the first while. Okay. Get that safely. And we just want to go down here for now. Something that always interests me is just, like, you never really think about some of the buildings you see, but this is clearly a church. This is another church. Like, they have multiple churches set up inside of Yharnam. Like, all over the place. And it makes me wonder, how many years since they found the blood had they been like, oh, we're going to use the blood has healing properties, and this and this and this, and the whole time Willem's like, it's linked to the old ones, we don't really know. Like, we found this stuff buried in ancient tombs linked to ancient gods, and like, we should not just be using this just because we found healing properties from it. It's probably got a reason it's got healing properties, you know? And so Willem was being smart in that approach, and Lawrence is like, we found this great power. We found this great thing that we can make use of. And so we should. So Willem seeks the kin, he seeks eyes, Lawrence seeks the blood, and that's why Willem is still, you know, Willem. But he's a little different, so to speak. Oh, I was hoping they weren't going to get any hits on me, because I want him dead. I don't want to get shot. These dogs have the weirdest pathing sometimes, I have to say. I've had a dog, like, circle me 2 times before he realized, like, he had to reroute his pathing to attack me. Scree. And we open up the path to Old Yharnam, which is like in a tomb. Old Yharnam's pathway is through a tomb with a secret lever. Like, it makes it feel like either they were like, we don't want to go back to Old Yharnam after what happened. We're just gonna pretend it's not there. Let's just put this tomb here with a lever in case we have to go back. And good old Alfred.
Aren't you? I knew it. That's precisely how I started out. Oh, beg pardon.
Alfred and the Executioners and... Oh, excuse me.
Hunter.
And Queen Annalise and the Vile Bloods feel like they've never, ever been at a point of we are good or we are evil. Like, you can't just say, oh yeah, the Executioners were the good guys because they had this light and they were like, oh, we have to rid the world of the Vile Bloods. They're so evil and whatnot. And you're just like, yeah, okay. Executioners, good guys, gotta take out the Vile Bloods, whatever. I feel you there. And then you go to meet the Vile Bloods, and you're like, okay, there is nothing and nobody. There's just monsters here. And you get to Queen Annalise, and she's like, oh yeah, I'm the last one. And you're like, you're what? There's no more Vile Bloods? And she's like, oh yeah, they're all dead. The Executioners killed them all. And you sit there and you think, you're like, okay, Canehurst is far, far away from Yharnam. Far enough away to where there is snow, you have to take a carriage to get there, and in fact, when you get there, the pathway to Yharnam is destroyed. The bridge is gone. Like, there is no easy way to get to Canehurst, unless you have a thing that summons you there.
As you know,
and
church is
the fact of the matter is, the fact that they're all wiped out like that, like...
Hunter, quite unfamiliar with the ins and outs.
What harm were they doing? That's the question. If the Vile Bloods were so bad and so evil, what harm were they doing? And Alfred tells you later, oh, somebody stole, like, a specific type of blood from the Healing Church, and that was when the first Vile Blood came to be, and where the rest of them came from. And so they're like... And so the Executioners were banded together to destroy them, because basically the Hunters were like, hey, they stole our stuff. We don't like that they stole our stuff and that they're using it. Let's make a bunch of Hunters go after them and kill them all, because we don't like that they took our stuff.
In the tomb.
Like, it seems like a bunch of children who are mad that someone took their blocks, and so they paid all their friends to go and beat them up to get the blocks back. Like,
traced back to
and you can't get it back. Like, it's already been used. All it is at this point is, oh, revenge for our stolen Vile Blood that we would probably have used. They probably would have utilized the Vile Blood at some point in some way, and done the same bullshit that they did anyways with their own blood. So, like, what?
That allows passage through.
I don't know that the Executioners are the good guys here.
I bid you may the good.
Like, I don't know. Maybe they had their reasons. I feel like Logarius might have been the one good Executioner. That's what I think. Because he died a martyr. Because he died protecting the Vile Bloods. Like, I feel like at the final steps, he gets to Queen Annalise and he's like, what have I been doing? What am I doing? This is not worth it. I'm just going to stop. Like, I'm just going to stop, and I'm going to try and right my wrong by protecting her for all eternity. The last Vile Blood, the Queen of Vile Bloods. And that's what it feels like to me whenever I dealt with Martyr Logarius and I got to meet Queen Annalise. Yeah. No hits. And that's another upgrade for this thing, too. So I'm about to get the lantern. I guess I should go ahead and upgrade this. I might also have a level on me with 2,897. I'm not really sure. So we drop. And we go up here. Antidote. Which... that was weird. I hit X twice and it wouldn't let me do anything. Probably gonna want those antidotes on the bar. Probably also gonna want that on the bar. I think it's kind of funny. A lot of people find a lot of use out of the pebbles because you can throw them to lure like a single enemy and take them out one at a time to make the fight way easier. But I never ever use them. I just don't care. I just go in and I deal with whatever I'm dealt with. 4 enemies at once? Okay, maybe I'll win. Maybe. This town is long abandoned. Hunters not wanted here. Fuck you. A thing I kind of wanted was for like just a tiny little graphic effect between the 2 pieces of the door where there was like a tearing of the paper. I thought that would have been cool. But
You there! Hunter! Didn't you see the warning? Turn back at once. Old Yharnam burned and abandoned.
you can kind of see Jura up there.
Our home only to beasts. They are of no harm to those above. Turn back, or the hunter will face the hunt.
So that's Jura. The little moniker I like to add to him is the Ashen Hunter because his gear is the Ashen set. I guess that's fine. He gives you like the Ash Hunter badge, right? Oh, that was a little bit of lag there from the game. Yeah, I'm gonna buff this thing up in a second. Let me try and clear out this side path over here and get my little buddy. Oh. Come on. Yeah. Good stuff. So that actually puts me at 9. I use 5, that leaves me with 4. I need 4 more to get this to +3. Oh yeah, and there's an item over here I can get to. And something else that's interesting about Old Yharnam, because Old Yharnam was burned to the ground, not these enemies, but the ones who aren't wearing cloaks are afraid of the torches. And so a lot of the times they'll lunge at you and do like a single attack, but then they'll say, oh no, not the torch, I gotta back off, the torch is scary. And that's, of course, because this entire town was burned down. But it also really varies up the playstyle, because sometimes enemies lunging at you, rushing at you is a good thing in games like this, because you can ready a swing and you can connect that swing as they come within range of it. And it would damage them and possibly even kill them, oh, excuse me, before they even get close enough to you to do any damage. So it's an interesting little mix-up, because the alternative is you pull the fire out, they run up to you, they maybe do one swing, but then they start backing away from you and cowarding. And so it makes their, what am I thinking of? It makes the way that they attack you, the way that they try to fight you, really varied, because they'll try and swing at you, and then they'll back up, and they'll play scared, and then they'll come back in for another swing, and then they'll do the same thing. So you might be fighting 3 of these guys, and you'll never know when one is just going to lunge at you. Alternatively, you don't pull the torch out, and you know that these guys are just going to be rushing you constantly, and you work around that. Maybe you want to go extended, and you just start swinging at them because they're so close to you, or maybe you just want to try and get some hits, get the heck out of there, you know, whatever.
Welcome. What is it? Very well, let me.
How many blood echoes is it taking for a level? Oh wow, really? Oh, it's taking 2857. I'm not paying attention here. I was looking at something different. Let's take some vitality for now. Because I always feel safer getting up to 30 vit by the time I get to about the Snake Town. Getting to Snake Town and all that crap. And we'll pump you up. Right, that's as far as I'm getting with that. And I have these 2 blood gems for now. Okay, that's fine.
The moon is close.
Moon is close. It will be a long hunt tonight. If the beasts loom large and threaten to crush your spirit, seek a holy chalice, as every hunter before you has. A holy chalice will reveal the tomb of the gods, where hunters partake in communion. Will it? Will it reveal the tomb of the gods? Should I go do chalice dungeons? Let's go do chalice dungeons, Garriman. In fact, why don't you go do them, asshole?
Most of the holy chalices lie deep within the tomb of the gods.
So they only pulled out 3 chalices. The Is Chalice, the Ailing Lauren Chalice, which only exists in the Nightmare. Only that one. And then the Tumaru Chalice, which is from
the old
motherfucking Bloodstarved.
True. One yet to tell it was the
Go to Old Yharnam and do stuff in Old Yharnam. Okay, fine, I'll go to Old Yharnam. Do they have anything? I'll buy that. Oh, and that. And then there's gas coin set. Actually, give me this. Just in case I get killed by the bad guy. I have like a church chest piece so I can get the, what's her name? Adela? I think Adela is the nun, and Ariana is the Lady of the Night. I think. I cannot remember. And let's go do Old Yharnam, because the first half of Old Yharnam is the most fun in the game. Right? Right. Of course it is. You know it is. So, let's see. I'll maybe record for another 17 minutes. Going behind the curtains, I guess. I probably shouldn't do that. But I'm learning. I'm learning how to do this. Learn how to do some recordings. Oh, right, my bridge buddy's gonna be back. Yeah, there he is. See, he immediately started cowering at me. Let me try doing this without the torch for a little bit. I can't remember which one I'm more comfortable with. I feel like the torch is more for people who want to play super safe. And I don't really need to play super safe. Like, not super safe, just a little safe. However, I could use that +3 saw spear. I don't like having to... I don't like whenever I swing 3 times at an enemy, and I'm like, okay, they're dead. And they have like that 1 pixel of health, and they just start leaping at me, and I'm like, oh no. This is not what I planned for. Yeah, he's dead. But that worked out well. And I picked up a couple bloodstone shards. I need 2 more, and I can pump this up to +3. And that'll be pretty good for clearing this area out. As I get more blood echoes, I'll get more points in skill. That will also help. But this thing's skill scaling never goes higher than C. And I don't even know when it hits C. I'm not really paying attention to that right now. Yeah, see, I hit that one guy with 3 hits. He still had a pixel of health left. That one too. I don't like that. Because sometimes you'll get 1, 2, 3, and they won't have that pixel left. They'll be dead. But you'll never know. Like, unless you buff your weapon up just enough to where you won't have to worry about it. So at this point, what they want you to do is to walk forward and hear him say, "Which is why I must stop you," and then he starts shooting. But if you've played through the game, we can just not get hit right away. Let's not get hit right away. Okay, I only need 1 more now. We can have a safe fight with our buddy over here. Our best friend. Big old wolfy man. Let me try this. Okay, it still slams that into the ground. I was hoping it would be like a different thrust. He's kind of slow. I think this transformed swinging state is probably better for fighting him, actually. The wide sweeps and the more damage from it is probably pretty good. Oh, he just said it. He just said, "Which is why I must stop you," as I tried to pick up that antidote. Okay, so this is what I like to do here. And Jura will start shooting in there and hit the flaming urns, which will destroy some of them. And if I'm lucky, it will kill some of these guys. And it got one of them. Okay. He didn't even hit any pots on that one. Alright. Should be safe over here to kill some crows. John Snit. Alright, that's enough. That's enough for me to get this to +3 now. But I'm not going to go back because I already cleared some stuff. Give me this item. Don't kill me. Okay. Hug the wall and kill these guys before Big Bad comes out from the door. Alright. Come on, Big Bad. So I'm getting 4 swings before I have to get stamina back right now. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Oh, nice. The jump attack does a forward thrust on the landing, whereas the charge attack, he slams it into the ground. That's not really a good way to see that. Yeah, there you go. He slams it into the ground, which I hate. That's one of the things I don't like about this moveset. Because if it was a forward thrusted charge attack instead of a ground slamming charge attack, it would hit much more often. And I really like whenever my charge attacks hit. Oh, wow, he almost clipped me there. He almost got me. So, Old Yharnam is that place that I love and hate. Because in my first playthrough, nothing gave me more trouble than Old Yharnam. Because I had to run through this place over and over and over again. Because Jura, motherfucking Jura, sucks so hard. I legit had to figure out my little strategy of run in, run out, get some of these guys to come to a safe place where I can actually fight them, and then deal with Jura's bullshit on the side. And let me think here. I'm going to try and open up the ladder shortcut, and then... yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and push through to the shortcut after that, because the ladder shortcut is not that useful if you don't kill Jura. And I'm not killing Jura, because I like to do everything as complete as possible. And by that I mean I want to go talk to Jura, keep him alive, and get the brush off dust emote, because I love the brush off dust emote. It's one of my favorites. Like, Eileen gives you the shake off cape one, but the brush off dust one is so much better. Oh no! Go away. Go away! Get the fuck back, you asshole. No. I'm not dealing with you right now. Okay. Oh my god, are you serious? Yeah, climb up this ladder and see what happens. So something that Vati actually mentioned, and something I like to agree with, is you find out in the DLC that Jura specifically had 3 associates who would always fight with him. And one of those associates is confirmed to be in the dream, and he uses the minigun that you end up getting after you kill him. And he's also protecting a beast, or a cave full of beasts, just like the ones from Old Yharnam. And there's a blood-starved beast in the back of the cave, which is also meant to, like, insinuate that is exactly who he is. But I also like to think that the other hunter who is in the courtyard that you fight against is another one of Jura's associates. And the, don't fall. The third associate, I think, in my opinion, is the corpse that we find strapped to a chair who gives us the Charred Hunter set. I am pretty certain that is exactly who that is supposed to be. Because that's the one common thing between Jura's 3 associates that we can see from the 2 we know of. They are all wearing Charred Hunter sets. All of them. Because, of course, they would have been with Jura in the sacking of Old Yharnam when they burned to the ground, and they would be wearing Charred Hunter sets. And we don't really find out anything more about his associates because they're not super important. But I like whenever a game says there is 3 of this thing, and then you go, okay, can I find each of these things in the world? Technically, yes. Because I believe that Juris 3 associates do, in some way, shape, or form, show up in their own way in this game. And I'm sure there are some people who might not agree with me, and there are also the people who, and this is a stance I'll take at sometimes, who will say, just because you say this is the case, that will say, just because you say this is the case does not necessarily mean I agree with you, and does not necessarily mean that, and one of the reasons why I may not agree with you is because the game does not necessarily state that you are correct. Like, if the game doesn't straight up say, this is Jura's associate, some people will never, ever, ever take that for truth. But in Souls games, you're never gonna get that. You're never gonna... Okay, good. Those are antidotes even. You're never really gonna get the full 100% fact. And that's something I love about it, because they're gonna give you those pieces. They're gonna say, okay, here's your puzzle. We gave you 50 pieces out of the 100. Can you figure out the rest? And that's exactly what this is supposed to be. See, if that was a frontal stab instead of a ground slam, that one too, those would have connected. That's why I prefer it as a frontal stab. That's the one thing I don't like about this weapon. And the moveset for the transformed could be a little better. I love this horizontal sweep, but this into an overhead is not good for groups. At least you get another horizontal sweep afterwards. But the problem with me is usually I go, oh, there's a group. Bam, pull this out. Bam, that's a sweeping hit. And then I go like that, and I hit one guy. And then after I'm done with that, I'm going for this next one. I'm just getting smacked in the face. I'm just getting the crap beat out of me at that point.